is the story of the California Angels. A baseball team that won some, a baseball team that lost some, a baseball team that never gave up the fight.
Hello, I'm Dick Enberg, and welcome to the 25th anniversary celebration of the California Angels. It's going to be some party, and it brings back considerable nostalgia for me. I saw them play in their first year in 1961, and I was their announcer for some 20 years, well, as long as Anaheim Stadium has been their home. Most Major League players will tell you there's not a better place to play baseball than Anaheim Stadium. Before coming here in 1966, the Angels played 4 seasons in Dodger Stadium, though we called it Chavez Ravine then. In 1961, their first year, they made their home at Wrigley Field, where the old Los Angeles Angels of the Pacific Coast League had played for 32 years. There have not been a lot of constants in the years of the franchise. In fact, it's been a rather crazy quilt of managers, players, characters. Let's see, there have been 10 managers in all, and nearly 500 men have worn the California Angels uniform. Only one man bridges it all. Every minute of the quarter century, he's lived it all, and he sits right up there, the chairman of the board, Gene Autry.
I consider myself a fan probably before I'm an owner. And there's times that I've second-guessed them. I've second-guessed the managers, and I've second-guessed players a lot of times.
High pop. Mullenix can't see it. Flores calling, and they drop the ball. Here comes Staub, 2-run score. And it is 6-5 Detroit.
I try not to let it get me down or anything like that at all. I try to say, well, that's yesterday. Let's go for the one tomorrow.
The one tomorrow. That's a beautiful thing about baseball. There always is a tomorrow, a new spring. Everyone tied for first place in April, a new season of hope. And who knows, for the Angels in their silver season, it might just turn out to be golden. Mike Witt has superb talent. He could be the lead man in the Angels' quest for first place in 1985.
The 2-1 pitch. A ground ball to second. This could do it. Wilfong has it. Goes to first. A no-hitter for Mike Witt. And out of the dugout.
Special stuff. There have been only 4 other perfect games in the major leagues in the last 30 years. Witt will get some pitching help from Ron Romanek. And they're both just 24 years old. The latest in a long line of strong-armed Angel pitchers. Rod Carew and Reggie Jackson, 2 guys stopping by the Big A on their way to the Hall of Fame. This season, Carew will reach 3,000 hits. Jackson will build from a home run base of 503.
It's in deep. Anderson going back. He's to the track, to the wall. Goodbye. Home run for Reggie Jackson.
Brian Downing goes for the gusto on every play. Doug DeCinces can play long ball and third base with the best of them. You want hustle? You want fight? You want Bobby Grich. You want a peerless handler of pitchers? You want Bob Boone. And then there's the human highlight film, Gary Pettis. So the ingredients for a pennant, maybe even a World Series, are here.
Every owner that I know, that is his primary ambition is to win the big one. And I don't think I'm any different than anyone else. Naturally, I would like to win, not only for myself, but especially for the fans.
And the Angels have won the West.
Perhaps the biggest story to come out of St. Louis for this session of the Major League meetings is the awarding of the Los Angeles franchise in the American League to a group headed by Gene Autry and Bob Reynolds.
This is how it began, December 1960. For his first manager, Gene Autry considered Leo Durocher and Casey Stengel, but chose former Giants manager Bill Rigney. Then Autry told Rig and general manager Fred Haney to put this team together, quick.
I was named manager on Saturday in Los Angeles, flew to New York. We couldn't get into Boston, took a train to Boston on Sunday, and drafted on Monday. And every time Fred would draft a player who was a veteran player, the next name I would point to would be a young player. And we were able to draft the 4 young players who, as it turned out, became the solid nucleus of this Angel Club for years in Bob Rogers, Jim Fregosi, Dean Chance, and Fred Newman.
They rode bicycles to spring training in Palm Springs that first year, and the cowboy proved he could handle more than 4-legged creatures by leading the pack. From there, they rode into the hearts of Los Angeles fans, beginning with a surprise victory on opening day. In the first inning, Albie Pearson walked, and Ted Kluszewski hit one out of sight. Then Bob Cerv did the same. Kluszewski hit another homer, this one with 2 on. In the end, the Angels had a 7-2 victory. Albie Pearson was in the first Angels lineup, April 9th, 1961.
We did everything right. Anything we were pulling, balls out of our ears. We were, making plays and hitting the ball solidly. And of course, Klu hit 2 home runs that day, and it was just about the. If you were going to write a script for a brand new ball club, and we wrote one opening day.
The yearling Angels never stopped writing that script that first season in Wrigley Field. The experts said the Angels would be lucky to win 50 games, but they won 20 more than that. They got respect faster than any expansion franchise before or since, and their fame grew in '62. Bill Rigney's club swept a doubleheader from Washington on the 4th of July and came back to Los Angeles in first place.
We played in Washington, we fly home, and we're in first place. And people being at the airport, and I just came from Dallas-Fort Worth and playing in the minor leagues and landing in L.A. and in first place and seeing all the people at the airport, it was really exciting. Even the older guys on the club, they were thrilled. It was one of those years where everybody kind of put it together.
The Angels ended the season in 3rd place, a finish they would not improve until the 18th year of the franchise in 1978. The star search of '62 turned up a galaxy of names, not the least of which was Fregosi. Fregosi would go on to win 3 Angel Owners trophies and play in 6 All-Star games.
He wasn't the smoothest of players by far as a shortstop, go. But just the way he played and the way he went at the game and his love for the game. He played hard. He really liked to play.
He was Uncle Gene's boy. Gregarious, uninhibited. He just earmarked all that I believe the Angels, that Gene wanted the Angels to represent.
Pitcher Bo Belinsky and the bright lights of Hollywood were made for each other, and he wrote his name in them May 5th, 1962, when he pitched a 2-0 no-hitter over Baltimore. Then Hollywood found Bo, or vice versa.
He'd rather be with Walter Winchell than be on the field, but he had a great arm. Pitched a no-hitter, did a lot of great things, but unfortunately, the press and the exposure he got, he was not able to handle at that time, and it did affect his career, because I think he could have pitched for a number of years and been successful.
Belinsky's meteoric career was over 2 years later. Leon Wagner was the Angels' big stick in '62 with 37 home runs. Rookie catcher Bob Rogers caught 150 games. And Dean Chance, a rookie right-hander with matinee idol looks, won 14 games for his delighted skipper. 2 years later, Chance went on to win 20 games and post an incredible 1.65 ERA. He was the first and only Angel to win the Cy Young Award as baseball's top pitcher. Another standout of the Rigney years was second baseman Bobby Knopp, a 3-time Gold Glove winner and the only man ever to win 4 Angel Owners trophies. Bill Rigney was the manager of the Angels for 8.5 seasons, 5 more than the next longest Angel field leader. Riggs' last great hurrah came in '67 when the Angels finished just 7.5 games out of first. And they played dramatic spoilers that year against Minnesota and against Detroit in the very last week of the season. Carl Yastrzemski and the Red Sox listened as the Angels determined Boston's pennant fate by beating the Tigers on the final Sunday.
And Rojas was in the ball game, and was a game when he just didn't have good stuff. And I had to go and get him, and I brought in George Brunette, who hadn't relieved all year long, to pitch against Dick McAuliffe with men on first and second, 1 out, bottom of the 9th inning, the game on the bases. And he threw 1 pitch. And Dick McAuliffe hit a line drive bullet, 1-half to Bobby Knopp, the Fugazi, the Mitchell, and the game was over, and the season ended for Detroit, and Boston went in the World Series. That was the only double play McAuliffe hit through that year.
But for the Angels, the promise of one season ended in the disappointment of another. The '68 club finished in 8th place, 36 games behind. By May 1969, Rigney was gone, replaced by Lefty Phillips.
Bill Rigney. Clap my hands. Let's go. He was a guy, he taught us all. The young players that came from all different organizations. He taught us how to play.
If there is one constant throughout the Angels' quarter century, it's starting pitchers. Take Nolan Ryan, a Texan, the Gary Cooper type out of High Noon. From 1972 through '79, he was the fastest draw in the West, or anywhere else. His right arm throwing bullets for the Angels.
Got him on a good curveball, and Ryan strikes out the side here in the first inning.
He pitched 4 no-hitters, 5 one-hitters, 11 two-hitters, and 18 three-hitters. He led the league in strikeouts 7 times. You're looking at a few of the 2,416 victims Nolan Ryan claimed with the Angels.
Well, I'm a strikeout style pitcher. I don't step onto the mound with intentions of striking every hitter out. My attitude is I get them out any way I can.
September 27th, 1973.
Ryan now has 2 strikes on Rich Reese. 2-strike pitch coming up. Ryan sets. Here it is. Swung out and missed. Nolan Ryan is the Major League strikeout king of all time.
I'm very proud of that accomplishment because I did it. I think it showed that I was durable and consistent all season. And to strike out that many people, you have to be.
Indeed, the force was with Ryan, but it never was stronger than on 4 remarkable outings with the Angels. Games that resulted in every pitcher's dream, a no-hitter. Number 1, on May 15th, 1973, Kansas City. Shortstop Rudy Maioli, whom destiny seemed to link to Ryan that year, made a nice over-the-shoulder catch to keep the no-hitter going in the 8th. Then there were 2 out in the 9th.
Hit to right field and deep. Gary going back. He's got it! Nolan Ryan has a no-hit, no-run game, and they swarm the 26-year-old Alvin, Texas native.
2 months later, on July 15th, the Nolan Ryan Magic Show played Detroit.
Here it comes. He pops it up. A tough play. No hitting, Nolan Ryan. Ryan has become only the 5th man in modern Major League history to throw 2 no-hit, no-run games in the same season, and it's a standing ovation from the fans in Detroit, Michigan.
Well, the Detroit no-hitter probably is, I would say if I had to pick a no-hitter that I felt as overpowering that particular day as any day I ever pitched, that was it.
Nolan Ryan won 138 games with the Angels, 36 more than the next highest pitcher, Frank Tanana. Tanana teamed with Ryan in the 70s to give the Angels a mighty 1-2 pitching punch. A left-handed flamethrower, Tanana won 14, 16, 19, 15, and 18 games in consecutive seasons from 74 through 78. Clyde Skeeter Wright won 67 games for the Angels from 1970 to 73, including 22 in 1970.
Oh, Wright knocks it down, knocked his glove off, and he throws him out. Boy, what a play.
Skeeter's ultimate moment came on July 3rd, 1970.
And a pitch, curved line to Fregosi, 1 out. He goes to second for 1. On the first.
The biggest memory going through it was how scared I was going out to the 8th and 9th inning. I knew I was on the verge of something that would, almost never happen to a hillbilly coming out of Tennessee and get in the record books by actually throwing a no-hitter. And the 9th inning, if it'd gone one more out, I couldn't have made it. I was that nervous.
The Angels had 2 other 20-game winners in the early 70s, right-hander Andy Messersmith in 1971 and right-hander Bill Singer in 73. The honor roll of illustrious Angels starters goes on. Ken McBride, George Brunette, Rudy May, Jim McLaughlin, Tom Murphy. Today, the strong starter tradition lives on. There's Jeff Zahn, Ken Forsch, and Mike Perfect Game Witt. The Wings of Angels. Nolan Ryan may have been Gabriel to this group, but he sure had plenty of company. In 1970, Alex Johnson was a classic enigma, a man of immense talent and mysterious moods. But boy, could he hit a baseball. In his first year with the Angels, he won the club's first and only batting championship.
The pitch by Janeski. Johnson swings a ground ball deep at third. Up with it is Melton. A long throw, not in time. The Angels have a batting champion.
I hadn't realized I won the batting championship. I looked up at the scoreboard. I just happened to glance that way, and it says such and such, put my name over Carl Yastrzemski. And then hearing the people, clapping with, hey, Then I got in the dugout, and people were just applauding, and then I just said, well, the season is over. I'm thinking about going home, But then I realized that I had accomplished something that somebody else appreciated, whether I appreciated it at that point or not,
He hit .329, but he talks today about the might have been of a 1970 Angel pennant.
Our objective was to win the World Series there, and I think we tailed off at the end because of lack of maturity on the ball club. I think we should have won the thing without question that year. We had the best pitching staff in baseball at that particular time. The young arms in there. Everybody had gelled together,
The Angels were only 3 games behind at the end of August, but they faded in September and trailed by 12 at the end of the season. Sadly, they never really were heard from again as a team until the end of the 70s. The frustration was epitomized by managerial changes. Lefty Phillips, Del Rice, Bobby Winkles, Dick Williams, Norm Sherry, Dave Garcia. None lasted more than 2.5 years, and most lasted less. With the 1978 season 1/3 over and the team floundering again, owner Gene Autry made a radical move, bringing back his longtime favorite Jim Fregosi as manager. The move worked. the Angels rebounded to tie for second in '78, setting the stage for a truly memorable year.
When I came back here as manager, it was known as a bad luck organization that had never won. And for us at the end of the '79 season to finally win a division and to go through a whole season, play 162 games, and overcome that little type of black cloud that sat over this organization and over the players' heads for so long. That's the biggest thing I believe that we had to fight, because we had great talent on the field in 1979. Guys had great years.
2 decades of bad luck got the heave-ho in a weekend series against the Yankees in mid-July. Nolan Ryan pitched a one-hitter on Friday night. In the 9th inning of the Saturday night game, the Angels trailed 7-4 with 2 runners on and Don Baylor at the plate.
Long drive to left field. He has tied it up. He hit the foul pole. He hit the foul pole. Oh,
The Angels won the second game 8-7 in 12 innings. And on Sunday, Bobby Grich drove in all 5 runs in a 5-4 victory.
If there was 3 games that turned a franchise around, those are the 3. It's right before the All-Star break. And we were on such a roll then, and we wanted to play right through the break. The heck with the All-Star break, let's continue playing, because we were on one of those rolls where everything just fell in place for us. And I've never seen excitement from fans and players like those 3 games.
And finally, September 25th, the opponent, Kansas City. The place, Anaheim Stadium.
Gene Autry has to be a man that is awfully proud as Porter sends it to Carew. This should do it. He knocks it down. He goes to Tanana. It's down. It's over. The Angels win. Mike Tanana mobbed by his teammates. Carew, his teammates making their way to the dugout as the Angels, for the first time in 19 years, win the Western Division title of the American League.
Here they are, the winning pitcher, Frank Tanana. Here comes Brian Downing. And it's about time that Gene Autry had a bunch of good things happen his way. And here it is, 1979, and you are the champ now.
Well, they're a great bunch of guys, and I think Jimmy Pagosi did a great job. The coaches did a great job. And all the players, by George, they played their heart right out, and it showed when the chips were down that they could come through and roll the dice and roll 7.
That's fine, Nolan. I love every minute of it.
The biggest thing, the greatest thrill, I'd have to say, is I managed the California Angels to their first Western Division title, and that's something that they can't ever take away from me.
But fame was fleeting. The Angels lost 3-1 to Baltimore in the American League playoffs, and the setback seemed to start another downward spiral.
Hit well right field, and this ball is gone.
When the losing continued into the '81 season, Fregosi was replaced by Gene Mauch. Things did not get much better that year, but '82 was a different story. The Angels went to the free agent market once again and landed 2 of baseball's biggest names, Reggie Jackson and Doug DeCinces. Jackson came to the Halos with a well-deserved reputation as a superstar and a super celebrity.
I can say that Reggie Jackson has done something that's very, very special. Something that I looked forward to a long time. Something that I worried about really for 2 years and probably affected my career and my ball playing ability. I've hit 500 home runs. It's over, done with, and behind me, and I'm just thrilled.
In 1982, DeCinces added 30 home runs and 97 RBIs, his major league highs in both departments. And he played spectacularly at third base.
Collison, and DeCinces with a dive that throws down.
It's probably the most talented team that I've ever managed as far as scoring runs in bunches. At the beginning of the season, we played what people deemed little baseball. Later on, when the firepower manifested itself, when Reggie finally got going in New York with the home run against Ron Guidry, then we played a different type of baseball, and it was probably as much fun as I've ever had in the game.
An American League record, 2.8 million appreciative fans had the Big A rocking in '82.
Ground ball back to Sanchez, and the Angels have won the West. You don't have to be told what's going on. They have won the West, and they're being mobbed out on the pitcher's mound.
Crocuses, rosebuds, and robins aside, the first real sign of spring for me is baseball training camp. And the Angels' 25th camp was something special with Gene Mauch in charge again. In this anniversary year, we wondered what it means to wear this uniform, and we posed the question to some of the men who've worn it.
The Angels, they're my ball club. They're the ones I want to be with. It represents home, sunshine, and the opportunity to win the World Series.
It's been a dream of mine since I was 8 years old, and particularly since high school when I used to watch the Angels in 1966 and 67.
It's a great feeling. It's just like putting on a brand new pair of pants, and it also gives me a chance to go out and compete against some of the greater athletes in the world.
When I was traded to the Angels 8 years ago, it was really the highlight of my career, and it was the happiest day of my life.
The first Angel game, April 1961. Doesn't seem that long ago to some of us. John Kennedy was president. Roger Maris was 6 months away from hitting his 61 home runs, and names like Romanek, Witt, Schofield, and Pettis were either in diapers or their folks were about to go out and buy some. In 1961, Bill Rigney put a team on the field in Baltimore that hadn't existed 3 months earlier. Those early Angels produced an all-star shortstop, a Gold Glove second baseman, a Cy Young Award winner. They were followed by an American League batting champion, a record-setting strikeout pitcher, an MVP player, and 2 American League West championships. In the movies, Gene Autry always got his man. He completed the job. For his Angels, it will be rich and complete only when his team wins a World Series. For the past 25 years, Gene Autry has made this team a class act. And when his World Series comes, there'll be a standing ovation, not just here in Anaheim Stadium, but throughout the entire baseball world.
Well, I beat the drum and hold the phone. The sun came out today. We're born again. There's new grass on the field. Around the third and headed for home. It's a brown-eyed, handsome man. Anyone can understand the way I feel. Oh, put me in
Friday at 8, catch baseball fever as the Angels battle their division rivals, the Oakland A's, in an explosive 3-game series. Now, stay tuned for a special episode of Saturday Night, featuring the original Not Ready primetime players, next on Channel 5.